welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So for today's video, I'm just going to be sharing my foundation on how I achieve my go-to foundation. If you guys are interested, then let's hop on to the video. Alright, so the first thing that I do, as you guys can see, I do have my eyes and my brows done already, but I wanted to show you guys behind the scene what I use to achieve my foundation routine. I'm going to show you guys a couple products and show you what I use. So the first thing that I always do is just cleanse my face, and that could be with any cleanser of your preference. I usually use the CeraVe or CeraVe, which is, I do have it here, this one here. Now this is not it. The first thing that I use is a cleanser, and this can be any cleanser of your preference. I usually use the CeraVe Renewing SA cleanser, which looks just like this. Now you can use any cleanser that you prefer. Now once a week I do use my Tula Skincare So Polished Exfoliating Sugar Scrub, which is this one here, and I use it once or twice a week depending how I feel. Now this is gonna definitely even out the skin tone. It's gonna brighten up your skin, and it's also gonna be very gentle sugar scrub, so it's gonna exfoliate any debris that you may have or any clogged pores as well. Another Tula product, which is my Tula Skincare Brightening Treatment Drops, which is this one here. This is going to be infused with vitamin C, so it's going to help with any dark spots. And I do have a little mini dark spot right here, and this is what I've been using, and it slowly is fading it away. Of course, it's not going to work overnight, so I've been testing this out, and so far I am liking it. So this is the products that I use to prep my skin. One last thing that I forgot is, of course, any moisturizer that you have. And so the other product that I do use is my Good Molecules, which is this one here. Now this one is gonna energize the eye, make sure that it doesn't look tired or anything like that. It is also very lightweight and fast absorbing, so I've been liking this one, and it's not sticky at all whatsoever. As I can press now, it's not sticky, but it's definitely going to energize underneath my eye, and it's also going to help it to be less puffiness. So that's what I basically use for my behind the scenes foundation routine. If you guys want an in-depth video of my morning or night routine, I could definitely do that as well. On with the foundation and what I do to achieve my perfect foundation, if say so. Well, for me personally, but if you're also combination to oily, this definitely can work for you as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my little headband. Now that I have my headband on, I'm gonna go ahead and use sunscreen. I've been using the Lancôme UV Expert Defense 50 sunscreen, which is this one here. Let me see. But another product that I have recently discovered, and it is from Supergoop. This is the Unseen Sunscreen SPF 40. Now this one feels a little bit more lotion wise, because it does have a moisturizer built into it as well as a primer. Now this one has more of a velvety, very smooth, very lightweight. It doesn't have a sunblock smell to it, which is amazing, because I really hate those sunscreen for face that smell so much like sunscreen. It is a big turn off. It is also vegan and is non-irritating, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. I've been enjoying this one very much, so I'm gonna get like a dime size, which looks just like this. It feels so good on the skin. As you guys can see, I do have my eyebrows and eye makeup already done. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my all-time favorite primer at the moment. I do try to try new primers to see which one works best for oily skin or a combination to oily, because that is my skin type. I've been trying the Supercharged Dewy primer. I know it says dewy, and I know it might be a little terrifying for all my oily skin type people out there. So I know I have oily skin, but I do not want to be completely matte. I am more of a natural finish type of girl, so I do like a little bit of oiliness into my skin. So I'm going to use the Milani Supercharged Dewy primer, and once again I am going to be grabbing a pea size or a dime size, and this is going to have ginseng citrus extract, so it's also going to help brighten the skin and prime the skin. It does also have a little bit of tackiness to it, so it's going to really grip my foundation and make it stay in place all day. So another product that I am also loving that I use on my foundation routine is the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer Base, which looks just like this. Now this one is gonna have more of a silicone feel to it, but it's also gonna mattify, hydrate. I'm gonna do the same thing, put a dime size just like so. Now this one has a very cooling effect, which I personally love. I think we're ready to put our foundation on. Now lastly and not least, for prepping our skin, I do like to use the NYX Bear With Me. You guys have seen me use this repetitively every single video. So for my foundation, I am going to be using NARS ARUBA Medium 6, which just looks like this. Now this is going to be a very soft matte foundation. It's not going to be very natural finish, but it's not going to be completely matte, which I love. So it's kind of in the middle, not matte and not dewy. So with this, I am going to be using my brush, my all-time favorite brush, and this is going to be the Morphe E63. Like I said, you guys have seen this in some videos because it always makes its debut. And what I like to do, usually I have a plate where I put my product, warm it up, and then apply it. Something that I've been doing for a while is applying Dermablend Illuminating Banana Powder, press it into my face, because this is going to help me lock my foundation in place. I know it looks crazy, but when I tell you it works, it really works. Especially if you have really oily, this definitely helps you out. Set your powder with your favorite setting spray. At the moment, this is my all-time favorite. It's the Professional Super Setter. And I'm just gonna... Now let's go back to the foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and put about that much. And what I love to do is really warm that product and make sure that it's gonna be able to melt into my face. When you apply this on, you're gonna notice that it's gonna feel more textury. Textury, is that even a word? It's gonna feel more like texture. And then I am gonna grab my brush, grab whatever is left from my hand, and start pressing it into my skin versus going back and forth, because what you're gonna do is gonna really diminish the pigmentation of that product. So if it was a full coverage, it's gonna be more of a medium to full. Now if it's a medium, it's gonna be more of a light to medium. So just kind of press it into your skin. The more that you press, the better it's gonna melt into your skin, which is exactly what we want. And then here you can definitely blend it up and down to not have that seamless here, which can happen at times, and that's exactly what we don't want. Thing about this is that you really have to blend it into your skin, because that powder, that setting spray, and that foundation are kind of becoming one. So if you kind of just go like this and then just let it be, what's going to happen is at the end of the day, you're going to start noticing that buildup coming up. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that makeup coming out of your face. But it's just basically going to be very out there, I should say. This is how my foundation looks. It's all even out. I don't notice anything unless you guys can see a spot that I totally missed, but I believe I got everything. With my sponge, it is a damp sponge. I'm gonna go ahead and press it into my skin as well. Now this is gonna give me that natural finish. What the brush is doing is giving me that full coverage and also give me a little bit of that mattify effect. Now with my damp sponge, it's gonna bring that natural finish and melt a little bit more the products together. So for underneath my eyes, I am gonna be using my NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer in the shade Beige. I am literally almost on empty on this one, and I'm gonna just apply it here, and I'm gonna kind of sharpen up my eye makeup here. I'm gonna go ahead and let the concealer kind of set for a second or two. I've been using this for a very long time. I just hate that it doesn't have a lot of product But I've been using the KKW Beauty Contour Stick. I absolutely love this. I know there's some people that have different opinions or different reviews towards this product, but I just love the way that it melts into my skin. I don't have to do too much work. It kind of gives me that flawless contour bronze look, or having to blend so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and use tan. Now usually this is the tan contour in tan 1. I do have the dark one, but I cannot find it, so I'm gonna just use this one and hope for the best. Alright, so now I'm gonna go ahead and blend my concealer with my Morphe E8, and I'm just gonna look down and press it into my skin. If you guys have really defined lines underneath the eye, I suggest you guys not doing your concealer like this, because what it's gonna do is gonna miss that gap between the fine lines together, and it's not gonna get any product in there. So what I do is basically I tilt my head down a little bit and then I press, so I make sure that I'm getting my whole complete underneath eye. And here I don't blend so much. I just kind of want to distribute the product because I am going to be using my sponge. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab my damp sponge. Once again, look down and press into the skin. And I'm going to go ahead and apply my powder, which is the Dermablend Illuminating Illuminating Powder. For contour, I am going to be using, once again, this brush. This is a multi-purpose brush. It literally works for everything. So this is how it looks with just basically cream products or liquid to cream products. I do have a little bit of powder underneath my eye, which is baking. I'm going to go ahead and take that off now. So for my bronzer, I am using the Stalk'r in Caramel Cutie, which is basically this one. This is going to be an instant warmth bronzer. And as you guys can see, I can't open this obviously, but I absolutely love this. I am almost hitting pan. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's really there. So it's just a really good bronzer if you ask me. If you're looking for a new bronzer, definitely try this one. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So I am going to use a more fluffy brush. Now this is going to be a Morphe M527. I'm going to tap, take the excess out, and instead of going like this, I'm going to kind of hold my brush a little bit more upwards and blend, kind of apply it there. I'm going to go ahead and apply some bronzer. I'm going to be using these two, which is the BEIGE Cosmetics Vanilla Cream Truffle. So, and I'm pulling it upwards. So lastly and not least, I do use my Juvia's Highlight and Volume 3, the Tribe Highlighter, which is this one here. And it's this beautiful blinding highlighter, which is beautiful on all skin tones. So I'm going to grab just a Makeup Shack brush in T19. Like, look at that. Gorgeous. Ooh, blinding. I'm going to bring it a little bit down to my blush and kind of mixing them together. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my face, and I'll be right back. I have finished my whole face completed. My lower lash, my lips, and this is the final look. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little foundation routine or complexion routine. I think I'm going to call it complexion routine because it's more of what I use for my entire face versus just my foundation. I'm going to go ahead and do it as my complexion routine. I'll definitely have all the products listed down below. And once again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys have enjoyed it, you guys know the routine. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe if you guys haven't, and I'll definitely see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.